Whether you like me or not, I know. Every day they talk bad of me, I know. Papa love me, and I don't care. Love is in me, over apart from that one, you don't know. Jealousy and hatred, whether you like me or not, I know. Every day they talk bad of me, I know. Papa love me, and I don't care. Love is in me, overflow. Apart from that one, you don't know. Jealousy and hatred, stop with the worrying. Life now one. Stop the boring. Life now one. Stop the boring. Hi everyone. How you are doing today, folks? I hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful time. Once again, I want to welcome you to Unapologetically a Woman. And if you're just joining me for the first time, my name again is Lady Fresh. So without wasting much time, let's get started. So today, I am going to be talking about Nigerian youth. So I titled today's program, Nigerian Youths Are the Best. Oh yes. You know, so because I want to direct this program to folks who kind of talk down on Nigerian youths, you know, categorizing them as weak, as foolish, as not stepping to their game or doing what they are supposed to do, you know, like, you know, demeaning them and calling them lazy. So those are the folks I want to address today. So, but first of all, I want to greet my great Nigerian youth. Great Nigerian youth. Ha! I salute you now. I salute you now, my dear, because I dey wonder how people take the leave for that shithole of a country. Oh yes. And still fit maintain their sanity. The country is like a good for nothing father. A bloody / compound fool. Ha! No. A scalawag and a rapscallion, just to say the least. At 59, the country has no hope of betterment or restoring human dignity. And I can only imagine the torture and the shame to continue living like the dead in midst of plenty, because certain few has monopolized the entire country's wealth and resources for personal gain. The economic epidemic of poverty and infrastructural decay is so blatant, and only he who lives there can testify to the dehumanizing effects of same and the excruciating pains without end that folks who live in Nigeria feel. Struggling to live and survive is the norm, because structural oppression and injustice has stripped humans of their inherent dignity and common sense to reason right. Oh yes. Tyranny, anarchy and arbitrary government has completely silenced my people to the extent everyone has become dumb. Even the justice system is under siege. Judges no longer have a say, not to talk of lawyers who can now be beaten to death, and nothing, absolutely nothing, will happen. Even good thinking Nigerians are all in the hiding for fear of their lives and freedom. You could be fearless to exercise your right to freedom of speech. But come on now. Who guarantees you freedom after speech? Huh? It is now everyone for his or herself and God for us all. Which now make more than 90%, or let's say 80% of the population vulnerable to crime or all kinds of activities just to survive. Nigeria is now a place for only the strong, the wild, the angry, and the crazy. Nothing seems as it looks, and no one is to be trusted under any circumstances. Even while visiting from the diaspora, you dare not lose your guard, or you'll be eaten up, because it's a triple fox situation over there. Everything there is fucked, and if you dare fuck up, you will be totally fucked. Oh yes. A country which once prided herself to be the center of culture and African excellence has become a lawless republic of all atrocities. And where there is a total lack of accountability and impunity has become the order of the day. From the head to the tail of the fish is rotting. And even the fisherman. The only thing that brings shame in Nigeria is poverty. Oh yes. Killings, beheading of human beings for rituals and sacrifice, terrorism, kidnapping, stealing are all justified and has become an everyday norm. So also is witchcraft practice for overnight miracles and get rich philosophy, with women and children being the principal target. Crime is justified in all spheres of the society just to escape poverty and the shame that goes with poverty. Even though we have folks who are just an inch away of becoming a centenarian, still ruling us and still fighting for power. Because our constitution definition of youth is vague. All eyes go to folks who are between the ages of 16 to 30 years as youths, and therefore needs them to die for the country, which I find very, very problematic and unacceptable by all standards. Nigerian youth inherit problems where they don't know nothing about. Oh yes, Nigerian youth inherits problems where they don't know nothing about. And now we all expect them to put their lives online to find solution to all our problems since 1960. Independent. I dey sick and tired to the hear entitled old bullies and lazy old fools talk about Nigerian youths in the most demeaning and disrespectful manner. Oh yes. Everywhere now you go here. I don't know what Nigerian youth they do sef. They're lazy, they're foolish and senseless. Now make things be the way it be for people now for Nigeria, because Nigerian youth now they step up to their game. What about you? They cut your hand? Eh? Now today Naija dabaru. Were you not once a youth? Not be say the country already don rotten, na im make you, even including me, run comot there come dey live here in the first place. During una time as youth, una die. Wetin make una no fight, huh? When you run go abroad. Far back as 35 years ago, now the serious exodus starts from Nigeria. And even for NTA that time, there's this commercial. Andrew, you remember? Andrew was already checking out because there was no water, no light, no food. So why una not fight that time? We can't be say all our mismanagement and the disaster wey dey ground now our youth head we want make they take carry all. Bullshit. Abeg, make you wey you dey talk dey criticize Nigerian youths, carry your children come from Oyibo land and then you lead the crew towards freedom. Make Nigerian youth follow behind. Oh yes, e dey easy to sit down for here dey criticize people wey dey house, how lazy they are, how dem no fit take action, how dem no fit revolt. Carry your own children wey be youth, carry dem go Nigeria, make you go lead the crew and see whether Nigerian youths no go follow you. Can you imagine country wey una don kill to a stage of quagmire, according to Patrick Obayagbo? Now una want make youth shoulder all the responsibilities, abi? Even political bullies and kleptocratic politicians get the audacity and impetus, the little shame to call on Nigerian youth for accountability. Hi! No be democratic government una say we dey? Why our politicians get to wait for youths uprising before things start to function, or before they know the right thing to do for their people? So youths get to die physically in their numbers first, for our so-called rulers to know say the decay state of Nigeria need a turnaround or burn it down remedy. Yeah, burn the motherfucker down, people. People are already walking corpse in Nigeria and the suicide rate is alarming. Come on, you all. Our youth never suffer rich. Huh? 90% of Nigerian youth will grow for that country. As in, will grow for that country. Where they born there like 30 years old, never experience wetin free education mean. Or how water they run through tap to drink. Or wetin be, I won't go take my shower. Or one full week of electricity without interruption. Or experience 3 meals a day. Or medicine when person they sick or they die. They never experience them. Instead, our youth don't go through the most barbaric, dehumanizing situation and basic needs torture any human being can explain. And yet we get the audacity and little shame, as I said, to say we don't know wetin our youth they do when they never revolt. Revolt waiting. Revolt like how? As if they put their life for front line. All the old entitled bullies, as if they put their life for front line, All the old entitled bullies, like I said, go resign. So where would they talk to make Nigerian youth revolt? If they revolt, that one go make the old entitled bullies to resign and let the youth get their own chance of leadership. Our youth good to fight and die for the same old recycled politicians to continue to hold power. Abi? Political talks na our youths. Political audio and body guide where they guide politicians from harm na our youths. All the dirty jobs where evil politicians they carry out allegedly na our youths that they use. Why the positions of power and control na for the old entitled bullies. Imagine they go elect person as governor of a state. After the first 4 years, after the first 4 years, he go contest again for extra 4 years, making it 8 years in total. And after which, you go expect say he go resign, they do another thing. He go contest for extra. He go contest to become a representative for the House of Rep, or he go contest for senator. Stay 4 years, then contest for another 4 years, making it 8 years. When the senator employment done over after 8 years, he go come again, go contest to become a minister for another 8 years. And this person where they talk like he don dey old. By the time he don reach 70, they will come carry and he will come turn to ambassador for abroad, either for one country, for Europe, or for North America. So you can imagine, from taking hold of state level, these same people they also take control of federal level. And even when governors leave their states, they go put their godsons, and then still from federal level they control the affairs of that state, and they collect homage steadily. So automatically, now the same people and their cliques and gang of political rogues go continue to rule in all public sector, both federal and state, for the next 40 years to eternity. So tell me, with this kind of practice, when people finish for governorship, they go into House of Rep. From House of Rep, they go become senator. From senator, they go contest for minister. From minister, now they won't become ambassador. All this one are 8 years old. So calculate time, you don't already reach 40 years, join their age. By the time they retire, all our youth don't useless. No space for our youth. And when they leave their state, they go still put their godson. Where go they do the job for them? Yeah. So tell me, where the space dey for our youth to grow or to become somebody, when all these political jagudas still dey alive and they promote themselves from one high position to another around the country, I mean. People wey get backbone and some financial freedom dey inside prison for challenging government. Not to talk of 90% of our youths, we no get politician as family or friends, and many never even see food chop. So if you revolt, you go die for prison, my dear. You go die for nothing. For here, Canada, for a typical example, I mean, yes, Canada, if we want protest or challenge power here, ambulance, law enforcement, from police and all, organizations of lawyers and free legal aid organizations, they go there on board, they go there on ground. as the protest dey go on, people wey dey fence, ambulance go dey pick them. People wey pass their boundary, police go pick them. As all dis protests go dey go on, the ones wey police pick, the free legal aid people, lawyers wey dey on board, on ground, they go go meet they go go meet the person to take the person's data, your name, your address, your phone number, and then ask police where police dey take you go, which police station, because other people dey there wey go bail you out. Right? Wey go bail you out. So to go protest for the right cause, for your right, especially your human right, is something that everybody, different organizations, they come on board for. So, but for Nigeria, who go bail the youths when people, when their legs strong for ground, still dey prison without bail? And even being a judge is not useless in Nigeria. Judge no get say again. Because there is no rule of law or respect for the law. Sadly, as I dey talk now, people dey wey never get light for years, but still dey receive electricity bill. For federal level, we get ministers, and for state level, we get commissioners of power, road and transport, water, education, health, you name it, and yet no water. People dey provide water for themselves. Nigeria road dey induce babies comot for women womb. So if you get belle, you go Nigeria just ready for miscarriage. Yeah? Ready for miscarriage. Because the road go induce your baby out of your belly. The bad conditions of the road. And yet, now every 4 years, now our government say they take the repair road. For state level and federal level. Whereas here for Canada or for Europe, 100 years road, no need for 4 years repair. Come on. Illiteracy. Now chronic disease where more than half of the population they suffer from. But yet, we get minister and commissioner of education. So wetin be our ministers and commissioners job? We be say na people, they provide everything including healthcare and water, which is a basic human right for themselves. Huh? Country where government no dey do anything for the citizens and still get mouth to insult them, show the in-depth and chronic oppression going on in that lawless and zoo republic. Oh yes, most of our youth na mama sell rice, dry ice fish, for night and for day, sell vegetable inside rain and for sun, sell crayfish, sell tomatoes, pure water, just name it, to feed their children and train them for school. And some mothers even die of high blood pressure and stress or cognitive related illnesses in the process of suffering to provide food, education for their children. So now when the children don't manage grow, and some fit manage finish school, because to finish the school too not easy. Apart from say you go nearly die, your mama go nearly die, thief do everything to send you to school to pay school fees. School where you they go now, so they go fight, they go come go on strike. The next 2-3 years school close. So now when some of these children don't manage grow up and some don't manage to finish school, and now at the time where they fit support their mothers, we suffer for them. So now they're supposed to die, right? So they're supposed to die for waiting they no go ever reach their hand for Nigeria. Nigeria wey no go recognize them as human being even when they die while revolting. Make una, all of una now, make una not get me wrong, say I'm not propagating or in any way supporting youth laziness or telling you to accept this awful situation, or neither am I justifying all the atrocities committed by some of our youths these days, okay? But I'm saying that all the yahoo ritualistic behavior of killings, kidnapping, robbery, beheading of others for money, and overnight abracadabra riches we all see now in our Nigeria is as a result of a failed system. And the youths are not accepting to live like that forever, especially in a time of globalization where they can see and hear how their mates and age group are living in other countries. Nigerian youth also tend to emulate politicians who lavishly spend national resources as if they earn it. And excuse me. So as I was saying, Nigerian youth tend to emulate politicians who lavishly spend natural resources as if they own it, and pastor-perennials who steals in the name of Jesus and propagate instant miracles without flexing a muscle to earn it. As we speak now, Nigeria debt don't reach or even past 30 trillion, and we still dey borrow money now stop. Federal dey borrow from one side, na so state governors dey also dey borrow, and yet we no dey see wetin dey spend the borrowed funds on. Federal government wan introduce toll gate charges on bad roads. People get to dey pay bank charges on their own money now, wey be say most of the banks wey dey Nigeria are owned and managed by the same corrupt politicians and Nigerian rich elites. So that's now another way again to continue siphoning the last blood from the poor and the already marginalized population. Federal government also borrow roughly 7 trillion, as they said, from our 8.499 trillion pension fund. That means very soon we go here say they no pay pensioner, and it no go be news, gonna be new thing. They say our customs make billions for our economy, and yet custom they owe their workers salary. Welcome to Nigeria. For our new budget, we put trillions aside to service our debts. We also put trillions aside to service generators wey no dey give us light. So the whole country dey total darkness, and yet we put trillions aside to the service generators. We borrow trillions of dollars as loan from IMF to produce electricity, and yet no light anywhere. All the recovered Abacha loots in almost $100 million. Recently, they say they use a help poor Nigerians. Laughable, right? I beg, in what way they help poor Nigerians when 95% of Nigerian youth they malnourished and dying of hunger-related diseases every freaking day? all the recovered loot from other political looters, even all the ones wey we all dey see korokoro for social media say EFCC recovered, cannot be allegedly accounted for. They say they cover revenue leakages, therefore saving trillions of money. Where all the money? We no dey see am. They wan even increase tax on people wey no security dey the country. Country wey you no fit waka safely from eyes to nose. Make Boko Haram no bomb you. Make Fulani henchmen no butcher or behead you. And make kidnappers and armed robbers not target you. Or make cultists and then witchcraft no feast on your flesh and blood. Now they want increase tax on. Our healthcare and education system is in a state of collapse. And in this our new budget for 2020, both education and healthcare budget put together is still below what is allocated for senators' 2020 budgets. We still don't know how many of our oil that they export out of Nigeria every day. Our gold and our so-called natural resources go reach agriculture are all privatized and monopolized by certain individuals, both on federal and state levels. Our public institutions are all mortgaged to friends and well-wishers of our politicians, while the masses wallow in chronic poverty and starvation coupled with suicide and self-harm due to hopelessness. Make I continue to name the situation where they happen for Nigeria. And then yet we dey here, they blame our youth for everything. When it be say our youth na the product of a failed state and the ones that are suffering the chronic consequences and hopelessness of a zoo republic, just to say the least. Our young men and women, they die everywhere you can think of in the world, all in the process of looking for a better life. From Libya to Mali to the Mediterranean Sea to Asia, Middle East, and recently to South Africa, you name it. Our youth, they there on a surviving voyage. Shame unto Nigerian government. Shame on you. If you don't know now, my people, say Nigerian youths are the most courageous, intelligent, no retreat and no surrender, resilience, adventurous, the most industrious human beings you can think of in the whole world. Oh yes. When you don't travel wide to different continents, you too go know say yes, Nigerian youth, they are the best. Yes, people, they provide everything and anything for themselves to survive, and yet they say they know they try. Or they say they're lazy. They live under the worst circumstances and yet continue to struggle day in and day out, from youth selling groundnuts to breaking firewood for people, or doing shoemaker to survive, even selling pure water to feed, and yet we say they are not trying. What did they go do? Nigerian youth take the highest risk, like I said, from Mediterranean just to come to Europe, and they get slaughtered and sold into slavery in Libya, Morocco, and every other country you can think of. And our women and children are not exempted, all in the name of escaping poverty and hopelessness. Nigerian youths be the people wey dey house, dey watch their brothers, sisters, parents die for lack of food, lack of proper nutrition and health care every damn day. They seal and they feel in their own flesh the blatant oppression and injustice of not having a family member as a senator or commissioner of police, or when you have the right qualification, you will get a job on merit. Because if you are not related to a rich, influential person or a politician, which is now a criterion to get a job as a man, you will not get a job. And for our young women, you need to become a corporate sex worker to fuck your way to the top for survivor, or no job for you, girl. Even married women and pregnant women too are not exempted from this race. Talents and creativity is wasted because youths have no support on how to channel that talent. And now you see some of our youths, they've gone mentally ill, talking to themselves while walking in the streets, and suicide, like I said, has become an option for people. Talent they waste. If those talents now pick them come here, now you go here say, oh, Nigerian do this, oh. He get 24 scholarship for schools. He get this, but if you dey Nigeria, you no go know say he get that talent, because all the wastes. Most of our politician children, 95% or 100% of our politician children, they go school here, and most of them don already get a second citizenship. Hey, our rulers don't send Nigeria already. They are just waiting for the creditors to come collect the country and then turn all of the citizens to becoming 21st century slaves working in plantations in their own country. Yes. Our politicians don't already sell Naija, put money for pockets. The creditors are coming soon to claim the country. And then all of una there, una go dey plantation. Only say this time, the slavery go be the end of the black man. As e no go only be Europeans again wey go show up to collect the country, but from everywhere in the world except from people wey look like me and you. Get ready. Another popular language now with our politicians na say that they bring investors come invest for our land to better our lives. Bullshit! Corruption no go ever end. Make una beware, my people, because most of the contracts na the same politicians get the companies wey they call foreign investors, and then they award our state and federal government contracts to themselves using one fake oyibo or one fake Asian representative wey be their friend, come dey show una as foreign investors. Again, make una start to dey ask questions on how our health issues is prioritized with all this new investors rhetoric of deceive and continuous stealing and looting. Ask them whether na hazardous chemicals, gas, oil, or which kind company these companies be wey dey give, wey our politicians dey give land to build factories for our cities and our state. Because where they open somewhere like oil company, gas, or chemical companies for abroad, for Yubo land, no human being they live around that place, in that environment. No human being they reside there. to protect people from unknown sicknesses and undescribable cancers. My people, the problem for Nigeria not be here from total lawlessness to lack of organization, and then anger, lots of anger everywhere. You greet people good morning, say they diverse, and then poverty and hunger, killings and suicide is overwhelming and makes one wonder how some people can still live in that country and don't lose their damn minds. My people, mental health is real. Poverty and hunger have stripped folks of their human dignity. Mental sanity and empathy to the extent you think you are dealing with animals everywhere you go, regardless of their social status or educational background. People struggle for everything and extremely suffer to get food. Children go to bed hungry every damn day. Majority of our women are now sex workers at different levels. Impunity and lack of accountability everywhere. In short, you need to be there to see the obvious decay of the nation. Our youths are already fighting every day for their lives and their survival. So, some now think Nigeria is not worth fighting for, so everybody wants to leave to somewhere else, at least to save what is left of their lives. Even little children, you see them, they all want to check out of Nigeria. Little kids, they all want to run away for good. Therefore, my Nigerian youths, my sisterly advice to una be say, when the time finally comes for una to decide to take the bull by the horn, to fight for una rights, una need to be well coordinated to fight to win and take control of what you fought for. Oh yes. And when you demand accountability, you must and should stay united and consistent to the end with the mindset of we are taking over. There's no going back. We are all ready to die to get the change that we seek. Position your mindset for my country or my debt. And with a hashtag boldly saying change this motherfucker or burn it down. Yes. Only with that mindset will that country get better, and not just go protest today in one corner, shout and clamor for revolution on social media, and tomorrow you are back to your house to eat a banamala when government hits hard and fights back. Power is not given, my people. I have said it before and we continue to say it. Power must be taken. And in the process of taking it, be ready to pay a price for your freedom. Because who you are going to take power from is not just going to let go. You need to fight. Not just fighting and running, but fight to win and fight to get hold of what you fought for. Oh yes. So please, my Nigerian youth, use that I prefer to die in the Mediterranean Sea trying to enter Europe instead of continue suffering the Nigerian courage that you have. And the I must reach attitude or die trying to fight for change. Yes. And when the time to say enough comes, make sure all the bad people collect from the whip. Yes. Even if your own father was the cause of Nigeria problem, was corrupt, make sure he gets a share of the damn whip. Those using our youth for dirty jobs will collect from the whip. Those using our youths for security and political hitmen will all get their share of the whip, as all the youths will turn against them to demand accountability. And we in the diaspora, we mobilize too to support and add our voices to the struggle. Then, right there, we are ready for change. If not, I am so sorry to say this is just the beginning of all calamities that is about to befall that nation. And for us here with Oyibo passport and Oyibo mentality, who thinks Nigeria is not our business, my dear, I tell you what, whether you stay here for 100 years, no make you Oyibo, or 100% accepted, you know what I mean? Use your brain and begin to speak up, because Nigeria wealth and natural resources now for all Nigerians are not for certain few Nigerians, as no Nigeria special pass on other Nigerians. Oh yes. So get ready, folks. Stop the blame game. For our youth, they have suffered enough. It's time for empowerment. It's time to strategize. It's time to be ready for no retreat, no surrender. And only with that mindset to change or burn the motherfucker down, that is the only way we can take power back. Yes, that's the only way. Well, I'm just being unapologetically a woman and a little bit of a sister and a mom tonight. Always remember, this is a woman's place for changing all that is no longer acceptable. And please, do remember that if you are not part of the solution, then you are the problem. Peace, my dear. And please remember to subscribe and like my page. Join the movement at neveronmywatch.ca. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.